What were you doing? What was your fallback? How has that transition been? I mean, obviously being in the UK, the weather is very different.
It wasn't quite hitting my purpose. I just knew it wasn't, there was more for me to give.
And tell you about how we came to Dubai 8 years ago. What's the journey been like as a black female?
Do you know, it's actually been great. 2025, we still take care of everybody else, but we don't always take care of ourselves.
Yeah. So
Even little things like people are not hydrating enough. Because water. Stop shouting. I'm one of those people, once I commit, I need. Definitely. The reality came when when I was sat on the plane. Do you remember we took separate flights?
yes,
Because there was a snowstorm.
yes, a snowstorm in the UK.
So when I see, especially another black woman, I'm so happy in a class if she comes. I'm, you gotta come back, you gotta come back.
Let's start from the beginning. 8 years. Hey, this is Black in Dubai, the podcast, and we are going to be talking about the lives and lifestyles of the Black and African community right here, of course, in the Dubai city and across the UAE. I am your host. My name is Kai. I'm the founder of Black Girl in Dubai, the place where you can get connected to the Black and African community, culture, and over 100 businesses right here in the buzzing city. And today we have a guest, very, very special, near and dear, yoga teacher, wellness and holistic coach, and also my cousin. So without further ado, we're going to get into it and tell you about how we came to Dubai 8 years ago, and a lot that's unfolded ever since. The things we've learnt, the things we wish we maybe didn't come across, and share a lot of our journey with you. Maybe this could be you, or maybe it's just going to inspire someone that you know. So, Dionne, please, if there's anything you'd like to add to your intro, let's start from the beginning. 8 years, we've had a running joke. When we first came in 2017, we would say and laugh about having 2 bags and hope, literally 2 suitcases and a box of yoga belongings and equipment. And that's how we began.
That's how we began. Yeah.
Please tell us more about the journey and 2017. What made you want to move out here in the first place?
Initially, I actually didn't think about moving to Dubai. I just knew I needed to be in heat.
Right.
Coming from the UK? No.
Exactly.
I definitely needed heat. You said you were interested in, there's a few other people that would say, yeah, Dubai's the place, it's the place. And ultimately, the wellness industry was growing. It was mushrooming. So I thought, well, it can't hurt.
Right. And you hadn't been to Dubai at the time. So this is summer of 2016.
Yeah.
We had a off-the-cuff conversation that turned into a serious one.
Right.
Us getting on the plane in January.
That's all right.
But while we were having that conversation and you knew whatever you knew about Dubai, you'd not been before, right?
So, yeah. So we did well, for me, it was my initial recce in 2016 with you. And then, January, we were here.
So we were just openly having a conversation one summer with the family, and honestly, on a walk to, I think it was Marks and Spencer's or Tesco.
Yes, it was Marks and Spencer's.
We decided that we were going to just switch it up, just change, because we wanted to do something different. We were sick and tired of the UK at that time, and decided to actually come and do a little visit. So I did like a 5-day trip in October. I'd been before, but that was your first time coming to like check it out. And what were your first impressions of Dubai in 2016?
To be honest, I didn't have much of an impression. I thought it would be a lot greener than it is.
Okay.
That was quite interesting because I thought I just assumed it was a lot more greener. But then we went to different places, and I was like, this place is really actually very, very, the quality of the place is really nuts.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, okay. And I went to a few different yoga places, and I thought they were quite nice, the setups that they had. Wasn't quite sure about every little aspect, but you can only know once you're there. It's like having, someone tell you, try this apple, it's really nice. You'll only know until you bite the apple.
Exactly. And so between that trip and then January, did you really believe that you were actually going to come? Because
No, absolutely. I'm one of those people, once I commit, I'm in. Definitely. The reality came when when I was sat on the plane. Do you remember we took separate flights?
Yes.
Because there was a snowstorm.
Yes. A snowstorm in the UK. It was not a snowstorm, but there was
a light dusting.
I was going to say there was difficult weather.
Yeah.
So some planes still flew. And I decided to travel because I had family also coming with me for my sister's birthday at the time. Right. So we'd planned this trip, and Dionne and I were going to come out and start from scratch, look for work, look for somewhere to stay. We already have a cousin who lived here at the time and still does. And we just said, we're going to go for it. So I kind of didn't believe that I was going to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I knew we were. I knew I'd booked a ticket, but I'd been before. So this was kind of that trip that I had to get on the plane to know it was really happening.
Real, yeah.
And then pinch myself. So when the cancelled flight came through from me, I think it was Virgin at the time.
Yeah.
I then got rerouted onto a BA flight, British Airways. My family were traveling on Emirates because we had orchestrated this at different times. So now that you were going to go the following day, now that the flight had been cancelled and stay home with family, I was still going to go with the rest of my family, but on a separate flight. I landed a couple hours before and we were going to brunch, which is a whole sport out here, by the way. And I was determined because I thought, no, it's my sister's birthday. It's the start of this trip. And if I start backing out now, it's going to be easy for me to go later. Oh, actually, no, this happened and I'm just going to go home. So it was kind of a test to myself to actually just do it.
Keep going.
And I understood, obviously, for the health and, the weather situations, why the flight and stuff was cancelled. But I just like, this is this is test number one. Am I going to do it? So still came out, had a wicked and wild brunch. But I think for me, what started to happen was these unexplainable coincidences. So got to brunch and saw a DJ playing who my cousin also already knew, had an amazing time, but he's somebody who used to go to my high school. So I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I've just moved to Dubai. He's like, I live here and I have lived here. So does my sister, who I also knew from our high school. And he knew my cousin. So it was just so weird. And I thought, okay, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. And I felt good because then I could at least let you know, okay, we've arrived.
Yeah.
We're starting to shuffle and then welcome you when you arrive as well. And then we're like, okay, really doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
So we kind of partied for a day or two. And then it's like, okay, we're not on holiday. You guys are.
Yeah.
We need to go
Get down to business. We need to find a place to live. Exactly.
Which at the time, doing short-term rentals for a little while was crazy expensive. So if you are trying to move here, I would not recommend doing that for too long. We spent a bomb. But we learned.
We did learn after a while.
We learned.
Yeah.
And then doubled back. So 8 years, like in that time, so much has changed, of course. Right? You have taught in some incredible places. Even when you first arrived, actually, I remember in the very beginning, the early days, like week 1, week 2, you were going for like a meeting at like the Maidan Hotel.
Yes.
Which is like the Sheikh's hotel and racecourse where the World Cup happens. Do you know what I mean? So it was a big deal. And you went on to land some amazing clients not long after that. So scary, of course. Like, can you remember what it felt like back then and how that's kind of, I guess, changed or maybe not?
Yeah. I mean, I think there was more wide-eyed then, and I was like, oh my God. And it's not that I'm not fazed by it now, and it's not that I'm used to it as such, but I think I just couldn't believe the spaces that I was teaching.
Of course. That other beauty. So I remember actually speaking to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that is it, us too, as well. So, you meet people know other people, and it's a lot about who you know.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So that led me to meet so many different people, and just the spaces, again, it just beautiful. Very in line with what I do, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different from a grey day in London. Trying to, keep strong and make sure that the world is okay.
I know.
Even though you have off days, it's just a really nice place to start your day and all the different places that we go to. So yeah, it was a thing. definitely.
It was a thing.
It was.
And so before you moved here, you were already teaching yoga. Was that full time? On the side?
Absolutely. So right now, as I said, as we have this interview, I'm in my 16th year of teaching.
Wow.
But I was already teaching. I had 10 years experience before that, active teaching, full time, doing what I do.
Working with some rugby class.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, yeah. First team rugby players, yeah. So I mean, I've been really fortunate in who I've met in my yoga journey. Didn't start teaching yoga, but it's just been building from one to the next. It's been really, really good, and I've been grateful. And I'm glad I made the move here, because what it made me do was to get really serious. Because it's easy to kind of jump back and think, maybe I'll get a job, maybe I'll do something else, maybe I'll go back to what I used to do before. But I had to make it work because that's what I came to do. Of course. So, yeah.
And so prior to yoga in the UK and in London, what were you doing? What was your fallback? As such. So if ever that was
I was determined. So my degree was in communications and audiovisual production. And that led me down the whole television post-production route. So I had several different roles within the television post-production industry. And to be honest, as lovely and as amazing as each day was, it wasn't quite hitting my purpose. I just knew it wasn't, there was more for me to give.
Right.
When I found my yoga, which coincidentally, I did the yoga as just something to do, as an outlet from the stress of the jobs. And I loved it. So I continued and did that. So for me, as such, I didn't really want to fall back on it, to be honest. I could at the time, of course, but I wanted to make this work, definitely. Because I know long term, for me personally, this is definitely what would give me longevity.
Right.
And if I could pass that on to other people, of course, especially loan to people that I don't even know, out of my usual circle of people, that's where it's at for me.
Of course.
Definitely.
And so being able to come here and stay in health and wellness and being a holistic coach, how has that transition been? I mean, obviously being in the UK, the weather is very different and the types of places and people you're working for are very different. But here, the heat is, of course, the obvious thing. And if you're outdoor, the sands, the grass might be different and things like that. Or if you're indoor, the studios are different. And you've also worked with some royalty. And not just once, for a period of time, regularly. So what has that been like? And did you ever think from where you were, yes, working with great clients, being behind the TV and in media, and then working with the rugby team, to now coming to the Middle East? I remember actually one time we was on a boat and I'm like, we're in the middle of the sea, in the Middle East. Like, what? But working with royalty, like, how?
To be honest, because of the TV work that I've done, I've met quite a few A-list celebrities in the world of TV. You do meet them, they come, they do voiceovers, they do different roles. And I've learned even way back then, even before that, to be honest, I treat everybody as people because that's ultimately what they are. Of course, they may be billionaires, they may be very famous, it doesn't matter, they're still people. And when you get down on a mat, it's just you and them and their mat. And actually, that's when the true person comes out. They don't have to be this person. You get the real deal. And it's amazing what comes up for people. And it not just your high society people, whether it's a royal family or celebrities or top athletes. I'm talking about just anybody, any Jane on the street, any Joe on the street. It's what comes up for them on the mat, because that's where they can be their real honest self.
Yes.
Likewise, with the health coaching that I do, you get down deeper to the deeper layers of people.
Right.
And then you stop seeing them as, this high-flying person. Or they're just a person.
Right.
And they're still trying to achieve whatever goal that is. And I'm helping them on that journey. So that, for me, that's what it's about. I'm not really bothered about what they do in life or where they come from or what family they're from. But don't get me wrong, it means that I teach in nice places and I get
nicely houses and drama. And it was sometimes we'd be chatting and we get home because we lived together for 3 years when we first came out here, and like, listen, if you saw the place that I drove through today, you know, beautiful farms or amazing villas, houses and places on the palm, or places that, you know, Dubai's got so many like hidden nooks and crannies. You know, if you Instagram it or you Google it, you're gonna see the Burj Khalifa and lots of nice flashy places, right? But there are places that have greenery and the sand, and there is
There's lots of green.
and just quiet places. Like, I think in the UK we say about the countryside. So you've got the city and the built up, you know, busy areas, and then you've got the country. So you drive out to wherever. The houses are different, more spaced out, etc. Whereas I feel like in Dubai, the city's here, you turn one corner on one road and you have just been like, how did I get here? What is this awaiting? And it doesn't matter if that's the Palm, you know, or, you know, I still have not been down to, gosh, what's it called? There's like a beach in Mamza. I've heard Mamza Beach near like Al Nada and Zero Sides. For a lot of people, Zero Sides is like a no-go, busy traffic area, very built up. But nice, the beach I've heard is like incredible. Never been. But what people do know are the busy tourist sides that are more sort of marina end, you know, your Kite Beaches, your JBR Strath. But you come across these places and I guess you've been able to see and work with some incredible people, but it's not about the material.
No.
And without being cliche, it's literally just, we've got to stretch. We've got to breathe through this. There's no one can help you.
That's right.
It's not the credit cards that's running in the house.
That's right.
Can you breathe through the shoes?
That's right.
And not the fancy flexibles, you know, I can't do 50 handstands or things. I'm like, I'm seeing that. But other times when I've injured myself, I'm like, this is where the yoga and the stretching comes in, and the breathing and the breath work. When you're doing it for fun and for fitness or whatever it may be, you just think you're just doing another whatever.
This is where I say you take it off the mat. It's not even about, you know, people say, oh, but I want to do this pose, and it might be the splits or something. Oh dear, that's lovely. But why? You see what I'm saying? But I always say it's not about putting your leg behind your head. And yes, that comes, don't get me wrong, we can do that. But it comes afterwards. It's not about that. It's about when you're challenged, what do you do? Most people, they hold their breath. And that is when...
Trust me. And injury. So I've had a car accident and a few things over the years, and I'm guilty of the heels and carrying the bag is too heavy, loads, whatever.
Absolutely.
And as we get older, not that you are old, but as we get older, the flexibility that you think you could or should have, or probably did have 6 months ago, your body should change it all the time.
Always.
Or hormone levels, what you ate yesterday. The bloating, the this, the that. Sometimes the smallest of thing,
It will affect you.
I've had to go to see an osteopath.
There you go. See?
And they're like, what did you do? And I'm like, I just fixed up the bag. It just went down, honestly. But that twist, and it hasn't been the thing, but it's been the thing that led to the pains and all the other stuff that stands before that. And I think, look, that's right. I need to get back in the yoga classes. But these are the things that build you up for the core and the shoulders and all this stuff, so that you can be better equipped for life's changes.
That's right.
And I should win. That's all it is.
That's all it is, equipping yourself. And the thing about it is that people think, you know, it's about the yoga poses and things like that. It's not. It's definitely not. It's about the breathing. It's because that's what we all have. We all have life within us. Yes. And you don't need a fancy app, although people have really good meditation apps and things like that. That's great if that works for you. But some people, it's just waking up and getting through their day. And if you can just take a few breathing exercises, it's going to set you up. It's going to just change your whole day.
So something literally just came to mind. I'm going to throw this in there. Your mum, my aunt, when she's come out to Dubai to visit, I was actually amazed and in awe because she stretches by default every morning, and not because of your yoga, just her own stretches. She will get up, she will cut off her fruit, she'll make her smoothies, and she will move. And it's really simple movements. It's not anything super, you know, whatever. And I don't think it's just about age. I think sometimes it's just routine. And I do have routines for certain things. I'm not stretching yet, but getting it into like a 5-10 minute habit for me, and how my brain worked when I was younger, is either I want to do all the things like the split, and if I can't do it, then I failed, and oh my God, I need to quit it all.
Do anything.
And I won't do anything.
People are like that. They are all or nothing.
Right. Because then it's like, well, what's the point? It's not when you're working. Until days like today, as I'm older and wiser, and I realize actually those little small increments actually do help.
And that's where you progress.
And that's where your mum is winning. Because by default, it didn't even matter if we're not doing anything. She would get up, and I'm like, you're on holiday, auntie. Yeah, it doesn't matter if we're on holiday. She's still having her fruit. She's still making her smoothie. She's still stretching. Because it's just a small thing. Even if you're talking and chatting, she'll just be doing her little movements. And then it's my thing, and I think, okay. But even as I look back, that was probably about 5-6 years ago. She came out that time.
She still does that today.
Right. And I think, gosh, that's the lesson for all of us, Jolene.
Is small things. That's the thing. Like I said, people are all or nothing. And if you can set yourself up, regardless, it doesn't have to be stretching. It doesn't have to be running, big movements. If you can do something that sets you up mentally, because that's what you need. You need a clear mind before you go out there and give everybody else your energy. If you can set yourself up and you do that regularly, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 4 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be an hour and a half, whatever it is. If you do that, equally, if you set yourself up at the end of the day, a lot of people don't have a nighttime routine, which then they don't have a good night's sleep. And we all know, we should be off the devices. We shouldn't carry the device into the bedroom. We shouldn't have it by ourselves. We all know that, but do we do it? And the thing is, you have to give yourself a cutoff point in the evening, and you literally put it to one side. And not everybody can do things like reading or journaling or, that's a whole thing. Again, it's just setting yourself up just a few minutes every single day, and you become routined in doing it. And then you miss it if you don't do it. Absolutely. Even if you fly all over the world. I've still got some of my clients who I'm not seeing physically, but I've given them homework. So when they're in their hotel rooms, they will be doing the thing. And I know because they'll tell me about their sleep. Right. And then that sets you up for the next step. Right. It just small little things regularly is gonna change everything. If you stop shouting so loud. I feel attacked. No jokes. You know what? Absolutely. And I really am going to take note and put it into practice. Some of the stuff I do, but I do it in the morning, not in the evenings. For a little while, I haven't been journaling, but I had been journaling for years. In fact, you bought me a lovely, beautiful happiness journal a few years back, which I would fill every morning. But outside of that, just as a practice when I was younger and getting out of writing or doing things in a negative context. And after some of the relationships I had when I first arrived here, I needed to heal myself and remind myself of who I really am. We'll save that for another episode. Oh, yes.
And maybe something a little bit streamability. But what I will say is getting back into journaling really helped me to just remember, like, I know this, I love this about myself and whatever. So I haven't been journaling recently. I don't know why I fell out of it, if I'm honest with you. Probably just a bit of a shuffling my, exactly. But by default, like you said, if I was on holiday, staying at a friend's house, going to the UK, listen, I pack my certain little books. There's some people that, do you really need to have all of that? It's extra luggage, it's extra weight. Yes, I need my book then, yeah? Even if I don't read this book and I don't use this one, I'm gonna write in this one, do you know what I mean? So I did have that. So I do need to get back into journaling, and I just completed Ramadan, me. So getting into that was great. Yeah. But I don't have a night routine. One friend actually gave me a beautiful lavender oil, all natural, and it smells so divine.
Essential oils.
Rubbing it on your wrist or on your pillow before you go to bed. Let me tell you something. So I don't use it every single night, but when I do use it, it's things. So I'm going to think about the things that work for me, because that's the thing. When I was doing my prayers, meditation, and journaling every single morning, even if it's 15 minutes, that's me time.
That's right.
15 minutes for me, not for the world. That's right. And I do preach about that to other people, but I just need to tighten mine to get important. So that nighttime routine, even having little creams and stuff. I see these people on Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, even the young children are doing it.
They've got a whole wellness routine.
A night routine. I'm about to get some creams and get some stretches on.
My routine.
Inspired by you and Auntie, and get to stretching for better flexibility. And I walk it into them splits. Walk it into that suit. In saying that, I learned how to do my very first headstand this year. I had a friend visit and come surprise me. And she was very much on her yoga journey already. And long story short, we lived together for a period. I dipped in and out of classes. I had this dream to do these splits again. Didn't fully commit. But then when my friend came out to visit, shout out Steps, she's like, you can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it because Dionne can teach you and do that. And I remember you actually put me into the position and let to go. And I thought you were still holding me. I swear to you, how you touched my leg, it felt like your hand was still there. And then he was like, I'm not touching you. And I was like, no, of course you are. And he was like, no, he's not touching you. And so when they took the pictures and I looked, I was like,
and isn't that something that people do in life? Do you think sometimes you need other people to hold you up?
yes.
When actually you have it within you to do
have
it
it
yourself.
with you.
Whether it's moving country, whether it's conquering the world.
You know what? You're right.
Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely. Like
When someone's holding you up, you're okay, I can do it. But if you think there's no support, there's no one there, oh, I can't do this. Oh, it's too much. It's just
I was so astonished at how quickly, because it was one of my first attempts, by the way, guys. I never attempted it to fall. So this was free, what do you call it? Freestyle, freehand?
Yeah.
It was not against the wall or anything. And once, I've always thought your direction is fantastic, actually, but I listened to what she said. And so with her direction and guidance, literally getting into the position, like, I think probably because we were locked in, we just finished the session. And again, if I listen to myself, I'd be like, I'm too tired. No, it's okay. But it was just a few of us. It was at the house. And I decided to just surrender and listen.
And my question to you,
And I did.
see, and you did it. My question to you is, how many people do you know, and you included, talk yourself out before you do the do, whatever that is? This at the moment is a headstand, but it could be
Absolutely.
getting another client. It could be making a move in some way.
Absolutely.
We don't realize how powerful we are.
I've gotten really great at, still working on it because it's always going to be a work in progress, but I've gotten really good at being aware of when I'm doing that. Or if I don't know that I'm doing it, it becomes apparent. You're like, oh gosh, And then it's like, why is my resistant to this?
Negativity.
I must give this, no. I must give that, no. Am I? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. And then you know now, so you go work on it. That's right. Or not. That's, sometimes it takes a while to heal and get a bang thing. But when I've now pinpointed that thing, there's certain people that I might talk it out with, or at least now I'm aware of the trigger or the thing that's I'm afraid of. Do you know what I mean? It really is not easy, especially when it comes up again. Like, I thought I worked on this. It's still a thing. Damn. Not today.
And I have to say, I think one thing I've enjoyed is the wisdom that's come with the grand old age. But I am literally that wisdom. I couldn't have done that in my teens, 20s. I couldn't have come to this point of wisdom.
I don't think it's just age. Age, yes, but I think Dubai literally has grown and stretched us. Like, if you stay in the UK working with amazing clients that you already were and be at great studios and, continued on. Do you think you would be the person you are today?
Absolutely not.
The letters, the challenges.
Oh my God. The clients, sometimes when those challenges have come and you think, what on earth is going on? Why now? Everything happens all at once and you're like, oh my God. But actually, it's only ever for your growth.
It's hard to know that in the moment, but I 100% agree.
And you think, well, why has that happened now? But again, it's just for your growth. And I think that had we been in our comfort zones, it's easy to turn to family, friends, everybody. But when you actually have a smaller network, or a network that's not as close, like you know them, but you don't really know them. They're just there, more acquaintances, or whatever. And you think, oh, I won't ask them that. I'll just kind of muddle along, keep going, or, That's when you really step into your true person, your true character.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, what have you found it being like as a woman in the Middle East and as a black female with locks? I mean, I remember before you traveled in all the way to Sharjah to get your hair done or your professional jacket, because the struggle was real. I'm trying to find a place for like, but after Afro hair, there's braiding and weaving and other things that go on, but for the locks specifically, oh my God. What's the journey been like as a black female?
Do you know, it's actually been great. There's been times, obviously, when you can't find exactly what you want. But I think that's changed a lot in the time since we were here. Absolutely. The first case.
Absolutely.
There's so much more people. There's so many more things available. And yeah, I used to go to Sharjah to go and get my hair done because I knew that this particular optician, he was good. Is he still here? He's still here, I think. But I mean, I don't need to go all the way to Sharjah. Having said that, I used to go to Abu Dhabi as well until recently.
Really?
But there were many people that can do hair. But I'm quite particular about what I want done.
You even started doing it yourself at times, right?
At times, yeah, I couldn't find who I wanted. Yeah,
There was even a window to go to that side. There you were.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Yes,
Absolutely. It's a whole, 2 hours for a day.
those are the days.
Yeah.
So when we first moved out, we wasn't driving immediately. I think you drove probably before I did. I hired cars every now and again, but I more or less had gigs close to where we were living, so I didn't have to hire a car. But when I started spending crazy amounts in the taxi, I was like, okay, I may as well just hire a car. And fortunately, it's quite easy to do that as a British citizen. It's not very license quite easily. But what's it be like as a black female in the fitness space? Like, are there many now yoga teachers, like all PTs, health coaches?
There are quite a few of us.
Really?
But here in Dubai,
Right.
we do stand out, which actually I like. I like the fact that we stand out.
Right.
But my big thing is there is not enough black people, all encompassing black people, doing fitness, wellness, and things like that. I go all over this city. I go out of the city. And quite often we are we're going to be in the minority, but there just isn't that.
Why do you make it so important specifically?
It's important to look after yourself. It's really important. I mean, people are, getting sick for things that are preventable. And sometimes, especially black women, historically, we are the caregivers.
Yeah.
We are the ones that are always taking care of everybody else. And even now, in this day and age, 2025, we still take care of everybody else. But we don't always take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
So when I see, especially another black woman, I'm so happy in a class if she comes. You got to come back. And bring your friends, and I'm so happy if they bring their husbands and just their circle of people, because we don't look after ourselves enough.
Right.
We do not. And people might think having, I don't know, a beach day is looking after yourself, which it is. We need to take time off. But actually getting into a routine of just movement. It doesn't have to be yoga. It doesn't have to be a gym. It doesn't have to be, I don't know, a fitness class or something. We just need that time, right, to be in these spaces because everybody else is. And it's not just because everybody else is. It's looking after ourselves.
Yeah.
There's too many women, especially women, with preventable diseases, I think. I mean, men as well in that regard, right? And we just need to look after ourselves a little bit more.
And so you think that goes back to like the build-up of stress, you not having an outlet, loss of structure. Of course,
stress is a killer, and it presents itself in so many different ways. It's not just the classical, if it's mental stress, a mental breakdown, it's physical. You've got all this cortisol running through your body, and it has a physical effect on your body.
Right.
It is a killer.
Right.
People have things like alopecia. Black women in particular are suffering with things like this. There are many different skin complaints, and it's all down to stress.
And compounded with a number of things, like we love living out here. I'm going to speak for both of us here. And it's been 8 years in counting. Yeah. Didn't think it's going to be this long, but here we are. And
do you not think it'll be this long?
I thought I was going to come for a year or two and go back, Yeah, not because I didn't like it. I just thought I'll do music, which is why I first came. I'll stack some money, I'll put it back into the projects, and then, that was it. I didn't realize 1 year was going to go so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Because it does out here. It's like we're in a time warp.
Yeah.
It's a fast-moving city, and it takes you a while to get adjusted and to even learn and know the landscape. You think, oh yeah, I've been here, done that. I know the people, like you, a lot of musicians when I first moved here. Thank God. I think yourself as well. We threw ourselves out there like, there's no turning back now.
Sorry.
So we got clients, we got gigs, we kind of stabilized ourselves, but it still took a while to acclimatize us. So I remember at the end of the first year, everyone's like, oh, you coming back now? And I'm like, how can I come back if I haven't even had any tools back then? Like, come on, you can figure. I've done a couple of gigs here and there, which I thankfully got some amazing locations. I was at Pizza Express. I had done some corporate work, weddings, all that kind of stuff. But I just thought I didn't come here to just finish now.
No.
I listen, and even still 8 years deep, there's still
So much to do, right?
so much to do. But I say that because out here there is the intensity of the lifestyle, which you can dip into or not. It's hard to say no sometimes, but the water's different.
Yeah.
The sand, the air is different, right? We're in a desert. Let's not forget that. This is all lovely and beautiful, but we're in a desert, right? So the heat alone, the humidity that's coming in the summer, there's so many factors that it's lovely and glamorous when you're like, yeah, I live in Dubai, but actually, what's it doing to you generally? So yeah, going to the beach club and having a sip of a mocktail or cocktail or whatever might be a lovely de-stress. You still need the
Have to look after.
fitness element. Yeah,
Even little things like people are not hydrating enough. Because water. Stop shouting. Water is not enough in this climate, right? People must put things like electrolytes in their water. Things like that. Or have a coconut. Now, I'm not talking about the box one. I'm talking about the actual coconut. Have it open, drink it. Have the jelly as well. That's always nice. In this place, you can get really dried out. Like, basics, your air, your water. You have to have, those things are in a consideration when you're out here. It makes you, I think, for me, it's made me better. Right, because I wouldn't even think about the water in the UK. Not really. True. Not really. As long as I'm drinking, I'm all right. I'm okay. True. Actually, what's the quality of the water?
That's a very good point. We've been on a couple of journeys with things out here, and water, alkaline water, I would not really have known or cared much about had I not moved here. But I did know a lot about a brand that is still here doing the water and having the alkaline water, or even just the different pH levels that are great for your hair, your skin, your food, drinking, and having your body in an alkaline state. And I care about it now. I should be doing more. Don't judge. But at the same time, it's just not knowledge I would have had if I stayed in the UK. I don't know anyone talking about it, and all the different brands of water that have sodium in it or fluoride, which I have a little bit bougie now these days, because I'm like, what water is that? Especially even in certain hotels and restaurants, I'm like, why are they serving you this and charging you this? I need the pH 9 or 10 water. In a glass bottle, preferably, and without fluoride, because I don't want my toothpaste or my water to have fluoride. It's right. So, I don't know, does that make me bougie or just health conscious? You look at, and this, I tried, people. I tried. This is what I tried. You have to start somewhere. And I'm not going to give them a shout out because there's no sponsors on here, but there's a particular bottle of water brands that if I am out, it's cheap and cheerful, but there's no fluoride. The one, I know exactly. We're gonna deliver to the house. But I'm like, if people know, then you can do better. Not to overwhelm anyone or whatever, but just once you know better, do better.
You do. You have to do that. Definitely. I've got a water purifier now, which has made all the difference. It's so soft. Oh my gosh. Really? Washing my hair alone is just like, it's an experience.
I've always wanted one of those things that you touch into the shower and stuff. I'm like, okay. Nice, okay, guys.
I will. I'm off camera.
So, for you then, would you say the Black experience out here, okay, that's the fitness and wellness side, but just as a woman and as a Black female, and being British also is the thing.
It does.
What's that like for you being in Dubai? Like, has it had any positive experiences or negative experiences? Like, how have you found it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I tell you what, I think that because we all know Dubai is a very cosmopolitan place. There's people from all over the world. And most people don't even know where you're from. They see you, okay, you're Black, but where are you from? You get that question daily. But where are you really from? But even when you're amongst in a Black community, what I found being British Caribbean, I'm still in a minority. And that's quite interesting. Because what I have learned being here, and I've got so many friends that are from the continent in the UK. even just learning even more about their cultures.
Well, where are your friends from back home? Because for me, it's just Nigeria and Ghana. That's it.
Yeah, Nigerian.
And maybe, I know a few people from Somalia, but I wouldn't say them in my close friendship.
Yeah.
But they were born and raised in the UK, so I feel like we're all just black
The
British.
thing is, what I didn't realise, like my friends who are Nigerian in the UK, they just go as Nigerian. But here, it's not about being Nigerian, it's about your tribe, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realise there was such emphasis on that.
Exactly.
So then I started from, gosh, we don't know what's right. It's right. It makes you want to go dig, like it just
Makes you wanna dig deeper.
Just makes you even better.
But I think it's so interesting you say that. As you're talking, I'm really thinking, because I think back home, so I've got friends who, growing up in primary school and then I guess in high school, I'm an 80s baby. 80s.
Yeah.
So being from the Caribbean was just, everyone was from Caribbean, and then there were the few that weren't, and at times I don't think people were very nice to people who weren't necessarily from the Caribbean in terms of the cool crowds and that kind of stuff. But then that's all evolved now, and I think when I look back to my really good friends who are from Ghana or Nigeria, I don't know loads about them at that time or even now. Of course, we're still friends, but again, our experience is very black British centric. So the schools we went to, the food, the music, etc.
Exactly.
Here, some of them laugh at me now because I feel, and they tell me that I'm more West African living here than I am there. I'm picking up the lingo, I'm eating more jollof rice. Quite frankly, I'm not finding the rice and PD and the macaroni cheese that I would love someone else to cook to me, because let's face it, I'm not doing that every week. Or as much as I would like, and it's heavy, right? You can't be having the carbs that's too bloated and it be on the beat.
Yeah.
But no, because I'm serious. If I was home, I'd obviously be eating home cooked food every day, right? Whatever's on your cooker. But out here, you're not cooking it every day. You're not buying it every day from takeaway. So then you're picking up other stuff. You know, you go here, it's pasta, there it's sushi. Sushi's bloody everywhere. It's just not my thing. No offense to that, but anyway. And I find a lot of West African or Nigerian places. So I've gotten into the moi moi. I need my plants in regularly. And again, I'm not cooking it or buying it every day. So I need to go to the places where I know that I said the bill.
What I think is wonderful is it's not just Nigerian and Ghanaian. Like I'm learning about the different.
Let's say I'm from Mozambique.
Yes.
Out here.
Exactly.
I've met someone from Burkina Faso. I've met someone from all kinds of places. I did not
Uganda knows it existed.
Yeah,
I love it. Tanzania. There's so many different people.
Ugandans are beautiful people.
I love it.
So are Kenyans. I feel like I kind of know my East Africans from my West Africans now.
And I don't think I knew that. And
I definitely didn't know that before.
See, there you go.
Definitely to know that.
So being here has even more enhanced the black experience for me.
So we are from the Caribbean and hail up Trinidad and Grenada from our parents' one side. My dad's from Jamaica, so I feel like out here, so many people can identify if you're from Jamaica. Yeah, you know of Bob Marley. This is some, if they are enough or have travelled or in sports club, Usain Bolt. But outside of that, that's it.
They don't know.
Even Rihanna, not everybody knows she's from Barbados. They just think she's American. Not many people know that Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. So you're kind of clutching at a straw. People say, where are you from? And you say, even if you say Jamaican, they're like, yeah, but where are you really from? Because they hear the accent. Okay, so I'm British, born and raised in London. Oh, okay. It's like they're trying to
I still get, where are you really from? When you say you're from the UK.
Do you?
Yeah, where are you really from? Yeah.
Oh.
Like I'm not, that was that, but where are you really from?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I like you. I love it here because I feel like we are, as women, respected and protected.
Definitely.
And it's very safe here. Not that I felt unsafe back in London, but there's a lot going on in the UK and just other parts of the world generally, that when you come to the UAE and Dubai specifically, there is so many different cultures, over 200 different nationalities, a massive melting pot. And for me, I couldn't help but fall for the place when I first came here because it reminded me so much of the West, but we're not in the West, it's the Middle East.
Yeah.
And there's so much cohesiveness and togetherness, although that sometimes it is fragmented and stuff. But I just found we were respected and treated well in a good environment, right? I don't think this is perfect. I don't think anywhere in the world there's no perfect, right? But I felt appreciated and seen here. I don't feel appreciated and seen back in the UK. And this was 8-9 years ago, even when I had first started just to come in for a holiday. So living here, I think as a FIBA, we are protected and respected, especially as an Islamic country. Contrary to popular belief or media, it's a lot more relaxed than I thought he's going to be. It's not as strict and as tight. If you don't follow the rules, then of course there are consequences. But I like the leadership and the vision that they have. So they are visionaries here. And then as a Black female who's also British, I feel like I'm a representation of what people don't know exists. Because when they think of the UK, they think of a cup of tea or they want you to say like a bottle of water. Do you know what I mean? Like all the stereotypes from TV or from films or whatever their friend or cousin or family member who lives there is like, oh, I've got a friend from Hounslow or I've got a friend from the airport. I'm like, you know, you're kind of defying that representation and giving them another version. And actually, exactly, I'm about people. And, you know, we think that people know and see that, but depending on where they're from, if they've ever traveled to the West, if they've been to the UK at all, definitely. Well, because if they weren't in London, they would see a very different side of it as well. And I'm proud. You know, I don't think everywhere is perfect. So there's great things to be proud of as a British person, but there's also a lot of things, you know, from colonization and everything else that's been going on. And I just feel like I can put a bold, positive foot forward despite all the stereotypes. And we're appreciated indefinitely. Definitely, yeah. How have you stayed grounded with all of that?
Well, literally my work is grounding, definitely. So I come back to that every single day. I teach every single day. And that's mainly how I stay grounded. It's easy to get carried away in a city like this. There's so many lights and gloss and things, but actually you have to pull yourself away from it every night. And it might be just sitting in a quiet space somewhere.
Or living away from the city.
Living away from the city. Yeah.
We lived in the marina at Discovery Gardens and a few places, many to first exit. And now this is a bit further out of our city.
Definitely.
It's like you can just hear the noise. You can.
It's so far.
That was so far. Coming from the UK, driving most places was over half an hour. So being in the UAE and driving places that are 20 minutes or 30 minutes is normal. It's easy. It's a dream. And actually, I prefer to be around the greenery. And I think Discovery Gardens spoilt me/us because straight away we were immersed into a big, spacious, green, family-orientated area that now when I went to anywhere else afterwards, I kind of felt like, well, where's the grass? I miss grass because it sets your bed precisely. It's good. And I hated when we were in the marina. I know you blew up, but love the marina. I don't know. It's so woodsy. It's good for certain things. If you don't want to drive, if you don't want to own a vehicle, you know, parking isn't great. Some of the buildings, you know, all of those things. It's lovely for certain things.
Yes. Yeah.
But coming out of it, 100%. The one-way system, that's not my cup of tea. If you're a driver, hashtag just say it.
Still, you know, coming to some lovely places. I still go to the marina multiple times a week.
If they're going to get somewhere that's overlooking the yachts and the water or something, great. Yes, I think sometimes the expense and the space of the houses you get, again, coming from Disco June, we had big space. Yeah. So every place that I go to now, I'm thinking, well, what's the square footage? I'm not looking at the prices then. I'm like, okay, so can you tell me the square footage, please? What's the layout? Do you remember we see some places with balconies and ridiculous, listen, you got to go through this room to get to the Vic. So yeah, when we're looking at places, we need light because our first place was very dark. We need space because where am I putting all these smoke cases and things?
That's right.
And you're trying to adapt and readjust to the next bat with, you know, your books and your clothes and your shoes and the things settled out there. So do you find then that staying a little bit out of the city and your work is enough to stay grounded? Are there any maybe tips that you can give people or anything that maybe you'd even like to do more of for yourself in an ideal world?
That's a tricky one. I think Well, we're all individuals, first of all. And I think, first of all, you have to figure out what stimulates you, what works for you. So what works for you might not work for someone else. So once you get clear on what actually is uplifting for you, that's what you have to return to. And like her said, for some people, it is doing a whole grounding exercise, walking on the grass and, barefoot, things like that. Some people, it's just watching a bit of TV, getting on a Netflix. It might be just that. For me, I'm quite serving of people. I quite like to do that, but I do a lot of that. And I find that I give a lot to people and then I become very depleted and I'll just fall asleep on the sofa at home kind of thing. So I need to know when to say no. Well, I think that's quite an important thing for me. But in terms of grounding, I think I'm pretty grounded and I've got solid routines and practices that keep me grounded. But ultimately, it's about finding for other people what is really good for them. Because we're all individuals.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes just coming back to center, there are some things that you aren't doing every day, but with how fast the world is and how fast Dubai is. And then generally, my gosh, since before COVID, since COVID, it's a bit of a blur. Yeah. It's 5 years and counting, between wars and all sorts of things that are going on. Every single day, it's compounded. It's not something going on in your personal life. It's something going on with someone that you're back home. Being an expat and living abroad is such a challenge. Because it looks and sounds very, very glamorous. And a lot of people look up to you and say, oh, you're brave and you're ambitious and all those things, which we can appreciate the art. But on the other side of that non-glamorous side is dealing with all the emotions that go with that and trying to stay sane. And then turning on the TV or YouTube or listening to the radio. It's a lot and you're very detached at times. So I don't go to the beach enough. I love it, not for the glamour of it, but being next to water. Sometimes when it's cold, like I need to go in the summer. I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but it is hot out here and it's getting hotter. The summer is approaching. So we're talking 30 to 40 just degrees and upwards, right? And in the summer, it's very humid. But for me, that's when I can strip down. Because otherwise, it's the breeze, it's in cold, the water is freezing. I mean, as it should be, because it's the sea. But it gets so hot here in summer that the water even gets warm. And then actually, for some people, that is like sickening to feel like having to get in hot water. But I love that.
I like it as well.
And even to cool down now in that in-between stage where it's like, okay, if you go in the daytime, yes, you've got sand everywhere, but actually just go wash it off. It's going to be a little bit cold, but you're going to get out. The sun's going to dry you really fast in like 5 minutes. That's how hot it is. And I don't do that enough.
There you go.
Because of the sand, but actually I need to get over that and just get back to the water because the amount of ideas I've had, the amount of, even when I just used to go walking in the mornings, like it's cooling out. I used to go with long so November to sort of February, March time when it's cooling out. Like it's about 8 a.m. I feel like it's getting a bit too hot.
It is getting hot. But go early. It's just nice.
And let's get into that routine. If I make it a routine, then there's no cutting it. But I'm not all on a person. So doing that, the thing that is a problem, sometimes the minute you start getting into it, and you're just not looking for any answer, you're not even doing anything, you're just, oh, look at that cat. Oh, there's that bird. And then something just comes to you and you're like, exactly, I think of that yesterday.
There you go.
You didn't think of it, or even in my case, it's because I'm, what about this? What about that? Maybe let's see this bird. I'm driving. Oh, wait, text up. When you just go walking and you're like, oh, look at those petals. On that flower.
And it could be as simple as that. Literally.
Or if you're in a nice area, look at the house. This is beautiful. And then ideas just start flowing to you that you didn't even know, and you let yourself advance.
That is giving yourself space and time. Especially in a city that moves so quickly. And obviously we are from London, so we're used to fast moving, fast pace. But it's still just it's even faster in Dubai. But you have to slow it down. You have to control that. And you have to just give yourself the time, I think.
No, I agree. I mean, it's one reason why I do stay out of the city and I don't intend on ever moving.
No, I will.
For the traffic, for all of that, you know, it's always an evolving city. In 8 years, God, how many cycles have we seen, right? It's shifting. And I also like that because it keeps us adaptable and flexible. It keeps us on our toes and we're growing so much faster than I think we would if we stayed in the West. Love it for what it is and it will always be home. But I think this has grown and stretched us. Everyone actually has decided to give it a go. Even if you end up going home after a few months, it stretches you and pulls you and you go back with something unlocked to think slightly differently in a different situation. And in saying that, I just want to touch on before we wrap up. You're a mother. A mother or a beautiful, gorgeous daughter. And, you know, coming out here with your daughter and now raising her as what some would say is a third culture kid, which I believe, don't note me on my definition here, but it's when you are, as a child, growing up in a culture or country that is not the actual culture of your parents or yourself. So in this instance, she was born and raised in the UK to a point and then moved over to the Middle East and doesn't have citizenship here, but is being raised here. And do you think she calls Dubai home?
Oh, Dubai is definitely home. Right. It's definitely home. Right. Like, oh.
So she came to Salon. She was born and she's out
to have her 12th birthday last week. Yeah, I know. It's like 5 minutes and it's happened. But she absolutely loves Dubai. Dubai is home. And I just kind of test the water with her every so often. I'm like, oh, should we go back to London? Let's go home. Just to see what she'd say.
Right.
Every time. No.
Right.
No. She wants to live here. And obviously the lifestyle is a lot nicer. Like, you know, just basics is a lot safer. It's safer. The activities that she's able to get into.
I was going to say, I don't have children, but I think that for little kids and just generally for the outdoors, there's so much for young people or anyone to do. Yeah. So for families, do you find that it's good to just get out and, you know, there's the pool, obviously, in communities or the beach or just free events that happen every so often for kids?
There. And of course, you've got the parks. You've got things that are just, you know, very simple stuff that you might have in a different country as well. But there's something about it here. It's really, oh man, she loves it. I send her back to London each summer. So when she's on a summer break, whether I'll go with her or not, she actually flies on her own now.
Such a big gap.
Oh, it's crazy. But I do that so she keeps her finger on the pulse of what's happening in London, because obviously Dubai can be a little bit of a bubble. It's so safe that she wouldn't even think. But if she left her iPad on a you know, coffee table somewhere in like a store or something, someone wouldn't take it. Of course they're going to take it. Of course, if it's in a different country. But because they won't take it here, she just thinks that that's, you know. So I need to get that into her head so she's able to adjust. Because ultimately you want well-adjusted children.
Of course.
Yeah.
And do you find she has a little bit of that being in school where she's around different types of kids or friends that you might have, you know, maybe Polish friends or Russian friends?
She's got friends from all over the world and that is wonderful.
Which we do have in London.
Yeah, but not to the same extent. Not to the same extent. And what I find is that she now really appreciates her culture, the Caribbean culture, because she shares that with them, whereas they share their culture. You know, so it's nice. It's really nice to have that. Whereas I think if she was in the UK, she'd probably just take it for granted.
It's easy to just, you know, I could blend in and be blended.
Exactly.
Girls are funny enough.
Yeah.
So she really gets to stand out here. So that's amazing. Definitely. Is there anything that we haven't touched on? I know we can talk for forever and share plenty of interesting stories. But yeah, this has been good. And you know what? I hope at some point to get you back on and maybe talk with Habla and guests and stuff like that. But thank you for making the time to come out of your busy schedule with your...
I mean, we're going to clothes. I'm not even in front of clothes. Sorry.
No, that's good because it's showing the reality of the lifestyle. One to the lecture, up at 6 a.m, stretching.
I wish I was up I'm out at 6. I'm up at 4.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's real.
Thank you for the work that you do. You're always sharing, always giving back, always pouring into others. And It's always wholesome when we have our catch-ups. Not often enough, but
so busy.
definitely needs to be more. And what I would say as a takeaway in terms of being more grounded is to make sure you have community. Whether you connect with us or you connect with people that already live here, or you just get out and make completely new friends outside of your work or outside of your relationship. Because some people come with their partners and stuff, and it's just husband and wife, kids, that's it. But community is so needed. And one of the reasons why we've started this podcast. So thank you for being with us. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. I'll be leaving the details for you to get in touch with the fabulous Dionne James. Find out more about her yoga, her classes. If you're based here, if you are trying to move here, you can then get in touch with Black Girl in Dubai. And of course, look out for the next episode of This is Black in Dubai. I've been your host, Kai. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dionne James. I am a yoga teacher, holistic health coach, and I've just been on the podcast. This is Black in Dubai. Love it. I've had such a brilliant time. If you want to know a little bit more about myself, you want to know about the classes I host and all the different gatherings, feel free to catch me. I am on yogabydionne.com.